How's it going, everyone? I am Walter the Film Hermit, and this is a last-minute video I decided to put together. This is my second video that I've done this week, and I'm going to try to rush it out and put it online as quickly as I can. Just had something on my chest I wanted to talk about. You probably read the description. I'll kind of go deeper in what all that means. But let me get this out of the way. If you like my videos, please like, comment, and subscribe. Helps the channel so much. So something I wanted to talk about was that something I've been noticing, and I don't know if it's just me personally that's noticed this, but I put in my description, I have a feeling, well, I feel that Star Wars in general has ruined film criticism. Now, when I say this, I'm not trying to lay any type of blame on the filmmakers of Star Wars or Disney in particular. I just feel that there's so many people out there that love that franchise so much because of the fact that they weren't happy with the films that Disney made. They have become obsessed with it so much that they are unable to talk about any other films, any other filmmakers, without referencing Star Wars. So I'm going to point a little bit to this film in particular. This is episode 8 of Star Wars. This one came out in 2017. It's called The Last Jedi. And when this film came out, a lot of the fans were really upset about a couple of things. I'm not going to go through it here because that's not what this video is about. And quite honestly, this is a movie that I did like at the theater, but I'm kind of burned out on talking about it. When I was first starting my channel, I wanted to do a month, that theme month. I was going to do Star Wars. And when I was making the video for it, I just kind of got burned out, honestly. I didn't want to talk about it anymore. And I'm going to go deeper into it right now. So basically, when this movie came out, a lot of people complained, said they didn't like it. But I started to notice something. Whenever I would see a review of a different film by a different filmmaker, like a Quentin Tarantino movie or like Christopher Nolan film, I would watch it. And whenever I would listen to their review of the film, there was always this jab at, oh, the Star Wars prequels, or I didn't like Luke Skywalker in Last Jedi. And it got to the point where I'm like, that's not what your video said it was going to be about. We were going to talk about 1914. And then all of a sudden I'm seeing clips of Last Jedi. Dan Murrell, he has a really great channel on YouTube, way bigger than mine. I actually met him once. He's actually a really nice guy. He didn't like Last Jedi as well. But the reasons that he didn't like the movie, I respected. And even he did, back in 2017, he was talking about how he was kind of tired of talking about it. He's just like, it's been 6 months. Why are we still talking about this film? And now we're sitting at 2022, and I have this new policy. If I decide to watch someone's review on a film on YouTube or read someone's review, as soon as they mention Star Wars, I just stop reading it. And I'm going to get deeper into this. This is not a situation where I like something and then someone doesn't, so then I'm mad at that person because they don't agree with me. It has nothing to do with that. A lot of people who are watching my channel that personally know me know that I've been a fan of Star Wars. And a lot of people kind of attribute that more to my personality than it should be. I remember I had a coworker once, and they basically told me that I thought Star Wars was the only movie that you had ever seen in your life. And I was really confused about that. It's just that people just have a weird thing when it comes to that franchise. Either they're fans or they're not. And either stance, they're just very, very passionate about it. But that phenomenon that I've been seeing in reviews, I've seen it so many times. I've seen it probably about 15 to 20 times where I'll see a review for someone on YouTube, and then I'll read it, or I'll listen to the video, and 5 minutes in, they're already showing clips of The Last Jedi, and they're complaining about Last Jedi again. So, and I think this has kind of become prevalent in all of film criticism since 2017. Now, a lot of times where I'll watch someone's film critique on any film, it seems like they can't do it without being negative about another filmmaker or another project. I was just watching a video the other day about John Carpenter's Vampires. And basically he's talking about why that film is so great and the story of John Carpenter making that film, and I'm really intrigued about it. And then all of a sudden, in the middle of the video, they just kind of take a shot at the Matrix. Now, when you talk about film, it is very natural to be like, this film compared to this film, this is why I like this film over this film. But I just kind of feel as film people, we've gotten a little too passionate and a little too negative, to the point where me personally, I just don't have a taste for it anymore. It's not like I'm mad at someone for not liking what I like. It's just kind of like, I'm at the point right now where a lot of other people's opinions, I just don't care about anymore, just because it's just so negative and so negative. I have a close friend that I hadn't talked to in a really long time. And when I messaged him, Thor, Love and Thunder had just come out. He didn't like the movie. And I didn't have an opinion on it because I had a really bad theatrical experience. So I didn't really have an opinion one way or the other. But I knew I didn't hate it. But he just kept talking about like how the movie was so terrible and he hated the director and it was awful, awful, awful. But he was so passionate and so angry about it. I felt bad that he felt so angry about it. But I just find myself, at this stage in my life, I love movies still. I love them since I was a little kid. I grew up on these films. I still collect these films that you see on my channel. But even someone like me who's kind of has a YouTube channel dedicated to movies and love movies, I know in the end of the day, they're not that important. If you see a movie that you don't like, it's not the end of the world. There's more important things. At this stage of my, that's kind of the reason why I stopped making videos, just because I just kind of felt like, what do I have to say? Everyone's so angry and so negative that like, I don't have that to bring. I just was just talking about the things I like. And don't get me wrong, there are certain movies that I hate. There are certain movies that I don't like. But one of my videos earlier this week, I talked about the YouTube channel Popcorn in Bed. One of the things I really like about that YouTube channel is not just the fact that Cassie is watching movies for the first time. She's not a film person. When she watches those movies, not only is she watching them for the first time, she's watching them just like a regular person would. They like what they like and they don't like what they don't like, but they move on afterwards. That's what regular people do. They watch a movie, they get that entertainment out of it, and they move on with their lives. Instead of like some film people that just want to complain about the same movie over and over and over again. I did a whole video where I talked about like 9 or 8 films where like I just didn't want to hear people complain about anymore. And it's not about the fact that I may have liked it and you hadn't. It was just like, after a decade, really don't want to talk about it anymore. And after I shot the video and started to put it together, I didn't want to post it. And just the fact of just talking about that negativity was just so negative that I didn't want to have any part of it. I think I mentioned the last Indiana Jones film. And I was just like, I understand a lot of people don't like it. It's not my favorite either. Came out in 2008. Why are we still talking about it? Now it seems like whenever Indiana Jones comes up in conversation, we have to discuss that film over and over again and talk about the same things over and over again. And that's why I kind of just separated myself from YouTube. I stopped making videos. I tried to watch less videos on YouTube. There's all that negativity. I think in the end of the day, we have to understand that, like with our lives, that these films are entertainment. We can love them, we can be passionate about them, but like we have to be kinder to ourselves and others. If a film doesn't meet our expectations, it's not the end of the world. We don't have to curse it for the rest of our lives. We don't have to try to cyberbully the filmmakers or the actors that were in the film because we're so angry. And we don't have to berate our friends and loved ones about a film for a decade that we didn't like. I'm at the stage of my life where I want to grow in my life. I want to do things in my life. I still want to have this as a hobby. I still want to be passionate about it, but I just don't want all that negativity in my life. And one of the things I started doing is like, I'm trying to resist the urge of not listening to reviews anymore. And again, it's not about you might have a different opinion than me. It's just that there's just so much negativity overall. I just don't want that in my life. And you guys let me know in the comments how you feel about this. I know if I mention The Last Jedi, a lot of people are going to probably put comments about how that movie ruined their life. But feel free, go ahead. At one point, maybe I will have a discussion about my thoughts on the movie. I had a very personal experience when I watched it. There were some things that I was dealing with that year that came out, and maybe one day I'll reveal that to you guys if you guys care. But I mean, my overall discussion today is just basically, I just think that we can do better in the film community when it comes to just being better to one another and just trying to see this what it is. It's entertainment. It's not brain surgery. It's not life or death. It's supposed to be fun. And like, for example, I remember when the Hobbit trilogy came out, that there were people online that were just yelling and screaming about how it was the worst movie they ever saw, and it was terrible, And if you ask the average person about how they feel about the Hobbit trilogy, they'll just be like, what, Lord of the Rings? Like, which one is that? The average person sees it once and they just move on. You know, and I'm not saying that as film people, we can't be passionate and know the things that we know. It's just that I think we got to do a better job of just letting go and moving on and so forth. So that's just my 2 cents. I've got a busy schedule today, but I just wanted to get that word out there, put a second video up. Let me know in the comments what you guys feel about this. Do you think that I'm right? Did this one film by Rian Johnson to completely destroy film criticism in general? And just let me know. Please, if you like my videos, please like, comment, subscribe. Helps the channel so much. Thank you all for watching, and you guys have a great day. Bye.